Caitlin Clark has displayed remarkable fearlessness on the basketball court since her childhood, and her former educators possess anecdotes that illustrate this trait. Recently, an archival video emerged, showcasing Clark's elementary school teachers reflecting on her unwavering competitive nature. In the footage, her former teachers from primary school recount Clark's propensity to compete with the boys in various environments, be it in the classroom, during recess, or in pickup games. She consistently matched up against all the boys as if it were inconsequential, one educator remarks in the video. Another teacher notes that Clark's current interviews evoke memories of the student they once taught, confident, competitive, and utterly undeterred by challenges. This mindset was apparent from an early age. While most children were expressing aspirations of becoming astronauts or veterinarians, Clark had a singular ambition: to join the WNBA. Her third-grade instructor, Kathleen Dre, recalls a class assignment where students articulated their dreams, and Clark's response was straightforward: she aspired to play professional basketball. She was inherently different, Dre stated in an interview with IndyStar. The determination you observe now, it was already evident back in elementary school. From playground competitions to professional endeavors, Clark's fierce determination led her to a remarkable high school tenure at Dowling Catholic, followed by a groundbreaking experience at the University of Iowa. Now, following an impressive rookie season in the WNBA, where she topped the league in assists and guided the Indiana Fever to their first playoff appearance since 2016, her focus is on further advancement in her career. Her coach, Stephanie White, recently provided insights into Clark's off-season training regimen, highlighting her emphasis on enhancing strength and efficiency. She possesses a considerable degree of self-awareness, White commented to The Athletic. She quickly realized the necessity of improving her strength to withstand physical play. Clark's off-season efforts have encompassed strength training, optimizing her shot selection, and addressing turnover issues, an aspect that faced scrutiny during her debut season. Her commitment has been palpable in training sessions disseminated by the Fever, demonstrating her unwavering work ethic. Even at the elite level, Clark remains the same tenacious competitor her teachers remember, the individual who never shied away from competition, thrived amidst challenges, and always possessed clarity about her goals. The WNBA's offseason has been rapid and transformative, featuring trades and signings that have significantly influenced the trajectories of both contenders and rebuilding teams. Which teams have emerged as the most significant beneficiaries or detractors in free agency thus far? Winner: Indiana Fever. The Fever have markedly strengthened their roster, acquiring experienced free agents such as DeWanna and Natasha Howard, and trading for an additional outside shooter in Sophie Cunningham. The re-signing of Kelsey Mitchell further indicates that the Fever are dedicated to creating a legitimate championship contending lineup centered around Caitlin Clark. The Fever made significant improvements by adding both shooting and front court experience, areas in which they were markedly deficient in the previous season. The team could benefit from acquiring an additional center to provide support for Alia Boston. However, at present, they have effectively constructed their roster around their foundational players. The Fever recognize that the optimal moment to engage aggressively in free agency is now, while Clark remains on her rookie contract. Consequently, they have successfully transformed this team into a legitimate championship contender almost instantaneously. Loser: Las Vegas Aces. It is important to note that the Aces continue to be a title contender due primarily to the presence of Aja Wilson. Nevertheless, this offseason has been relatively unfortunate. The Aces experienced the departure of two cherished assistants, Tyler Marsh and Natalie Nakasi, who accepted head coaching positions with the Chicago Sky and Golden State Valkyries, respectively. Nakase managed to recruit both Kate Martin and 2024 Sixth Player of the Year Tiffany Hayes to Golden State. Additionally, the Aces forfeited 2023 Sixth Player of the Year Alaisha Clark to the Seattle Storm, while fan favorite Sydney Colson also signed with the previously mentioned Fever. These departures significantly diminish their depth compared to the previous season. While Jewell Loyd represents a reasonable acquisition for the loss of Kelsey Plum, it is important to acknowledge that Loyd is not an equivalent replacement, and her integration into the offense may present challenges given her preferred playing style. Compounding these issues, the Aces forfeited their first-round pick in this year's draft due to the WNBA investigation into head coach Becky Hammon's treatment of Dearica Hamby. The Aces did secure the signing of Cheyenne Parker-Tyus and will have the opportunity to witness former Virginia Tech standout Liz Kitley make her WNBA debut, which will provide some front-court depth alongside Wilson. Nonetheless, this offseason does appear to represent a regression for a Las Vegas team that aspires to reclaim the championship title. Winner, Seattle Storm. Following Jewell Loyd's trade request, the Storm effectively rebounded, acquiring the number 2 overall pick in this year's draft. Seattle successfully re-signed Gabby Williams, Nneka Ogwumike, and welcomed back Alicia Clark. Moreover, the team traded for Lexi Brown, who offers essential outside shooting, an element that the team has been lacking for an extended period. Last week, the signing of Erica Wheeler further enhanced the team's guard depth. The loss of Jordan Horston to a torn ACL was a substantial setback. However, the Storm maintains the majority of their core players from the previous year, while also having the flexibility to select any candidate in this year's draft, excluding Paige Buessiers. The point guard position appears to be a clear priority. One might speculate on the potential synergy of a backcourt composed of Skylar Diggins-Smith and Olivia Miles. However, following the signings of Wheeler and Brown, the team may consider a different strategy in this year's draft. Anticipate Seattle to emerge as one of, if not the premier, defensive units in basketball this season. Loser, Connecticut Sun. After several finals appearances during the Alyssa Thomas era, the Sun made the decision to trade her to Phoenix, indicating a transition towards rebuilding, correct? Despite the fact that the return for Thomas was somewhat disappointing, the team has acquired 2 seasoned players in Natasha Cloud and Marina Mabrey, both of whom could potentially be traded for draft assets. However, the team has opted to retain both athletes for the time being. The Sun finds themselves in a precarious situation as they do not possess their first-round draft pick for the upcoming year, which diminishes the incentive to intentionally lose games this season. Nonetheless, considering the talent present in the 2027 draft class, a strategy focused on losing games this year and next may indeed be the most prudent course of action, since the lottery odds take into account the performance records from the preceding 2 seasons. Moreover, retaining 2 veterans on single-year contracts presents a troubling facade and lacks strategic coherence from a team development perspective. Furthermore, Mabrey's representative has been outspoken about the 26-year-old's desire for a trade, criticizing the Sun organization for effectively confining her. A team in such a predicament ought to be amassing draft picks and considering a strategy aimed at losing for a superior outcome, rather than retaining dissatisfied veterans who possess trade value for an inconsequential season of 20 wins, which could jeopardize their prospects of acquiring a star player like Juju Watkins in 2027. WNBA luminary Aja Wilson and United States gymnast Jordan Chiles adorned the cover of Time magazine on Thursday morning. In an interview with the reigning WNBA MVP, Time inquired about the remarks made by Indiana Fever star Caitlin Clark, who candidly acknowledged her privilege as a white athlete. Clark, who garnered WNBA Rookie of the Year accolades after averaging 19.2 points, 8.4 assists, and 5.7 rebounds per game, was named Time's Athlete of the Year and expressed her views on her position within the realm of sports. "I want to assert that I've achieved everything through my efforts, but as a white individual, I recognize the existence of privilege," Clark stated at that time. Many of the players in the league who have excelled have been black athletes. This league has fundamentally been constructed upon their contributions. The more we can acknowledge, emphasize, and discuss this, while also prompting brands and organizations to invest in those players who have enriched this league, I believe it is exceedingly significant. Wilson acknowledged that Clark's comments were powerful. The statement resonates with me. As a Black woman in the WNBA, we face challenges in representing our true selves. Numerous agendas are propagated across various platforms that may obscure our visibility, she expressed.